Hello, welcome to episode, what are we on now, 12? I should probably really look this up before we start. Episode something of Smash of the Day. With me this week is Coach Sam, also official record keeper for the league, which I've just decided now. So yes, we are going to take a look at, oh for God's sake, I'm already getting messages from people on Steam. Let me nip that in the bud. There we go. Right. Yes, this is the final week, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. The last chance to get in there, and I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe there is only 2 Division 2 teams that are guaranteed. Do you know what? We'll look at this later. Let's take a look at those results. So, Division 1, Gallons of Grog, Jurassic Junglers. Did you see this one, Sam?
I didn't see this one, but I'm also not surprised. Greg's been having a really bad time. And Matt's just been doing whatever he wants, and it seems to work out.
Yeah, that's pretty much the theme of this league. Shall we look at what just worked out for him this time? All Go For It succeeded. All Pickups succeeded. All one of his passes successful. Didn't have such a great time with the Dodgers, though.
No.
I'm guessing... I mean, his skinks have got dodged, so that's pretty unfortunate, but I suppose it doesn't really matter a great deal, does it, for him?
Apparently not. Well, he could have been dodging with his dinosaurs. We don't know.
Possibly. Greg, on the other hand, failed all but one of his dodges. Yeah, well, to be honest, it doesn't look like either of them had a terrible game, really.
Wait, did Matt get a bomber?
He must have done.
He got impact to the bomb. Wow, okay.
Yeah, he must have done. Yeah, one failure, so that means... I'm guessing he dropped it on himself. Or either that or he threw it at one person and it didn't hit them. I don't know. We'll have to ask him. Either way, it's another win for Matt and that keeps him at the top of the table.
Yeah, doing nice.
Yep, let's take a look at this next one. Brexiting Spines, Morning Munchers. I don't think anyone's really surprised that the Chaos beat the Ogres. Really. If anything, I'm surprised they only won 1-0. Did you catch any of this?
I didn't catch this one. It doesn't look like a lot happened looking at the stats and the scoreline. Really.
It's always fun looking at the bonehead stats for Ogres. 59 successes, 15 failures. Ridiculous. Well,
is this the guy that's quit playing Ogres now?
He intends to play Dwarves next season. But probably shouldn't even mention that because we don't want to encourage anyone else to think that it's an acceptable thing to do.
No, that's true.
Yeah, well, he attempted 5 goblin throws and failed 3 of them, or at least the landings failed. Yeah, not a great game.
You only throw them for the memes, though, don't you?
Yeah, if you're playing halflings, it's a legit strat, but you can't really get away with it with ogres, can you? Yeah, not again. It's just there's not really much to write home about here, is there?
No.
Yeah, looks like neither of the teams really had a good time trying to pick the ball up and run with it. Yeah, just a tidy 1-0 victory. Well, let's take a look at this next one. Sean Sawks, Le French Taunters. French Taunters started off this season completely decimated from last season and have slowly clawed their way back to a respectable lineup, and the results are showing it.
Yeah, I mean, they look like an absolutely terrifying team. And I think they're the main reason that there is a discussion on a 3-season retirement rule.
Yeah. I guess
because no one wants to come up against them now.
Yeah, we'll have to see what they look like at the end of next season, I suppose. Well,
and look at the amount of SPP he got as well. Disgusting.
Yeah. Both of them did all right on SPP, to be fair. Looks like it was a good game for both of them. Sean Sawks only made 2 passes. Usually you see these guys doing more than that, but they were both successes. didn't do so well on the dodge rolls, which is bad
He
for
didn't enjoy
elves.
his leaps either.
No. Yeah, that looks like probably the crucial statistic there. And I
Well,
mean,
those
really,
could have been desperation plays, really.
yeah, possibly. Um, yeah, it looks like look at that. French Taunters managed 2 successful interceptions. So it looks like they were able to shut them down.
Well, there we go. That's how it must have gone then.
Yeah. Well, bad luck, Sean's Hawks. Let's take a look at this last result. Vanilla Killer Kitsch, Slimy Helmets. A 1-all draw, really. This is, I mean, it's nice to see the Nurgle not losing, but against Goblins, you would have expected them to win, right?
Yeah, yeah.
2
He only
successful
got
chainsaws.
yeah. I was just about to say that he only got to use it twice. I don't know what happened. Looks like he got injured pretty early.
Yeah, but they were both successes. He succeeded most of his foul appearance rolls, which is you kind of want those to come off if you're playing Nurgle, right? Both of his bribes were successful. Looks like he just managed to goblin him, really. Yeah, played a bit of a passing game there, you can see. Through 8 passes. None of them were intercepted. Yeah, look. To be honest, it just looks like the Nurgle had bad luck again. But when you're playing against Goblins, you can still draw when you get bad luck.
Yeah, and I guess the bombs could have gone better for the slimy helmets.
Yeah. And I mean, it looks like the Goblins threw about as many block dice as the Nurgle, which in a game like this, you would expect the Nurgle to be throwing at least 150% of the amount that the Goblins throw, really.
Yeah, especially as the goblins doesn't look like they were dodging that much.
Yeah.
57%.
Yeah.
But I guess he was trying to dodge and getting knocked over before he could get punched. Maybe that's what happened.
Oh God. Well, a 1-all draw. Shall we take a look at how that's affected the leaderboard?
Yes.
All right, Division 1. So things are getting interesting here. Jurassic Junglers, top of the table. They really, it's theirs to throw away at this point. They're playing the Goblins in the next game. You would expect them to win. Even if they draw, it's still quite likely-ish that they'll remain top. But really, first and second kind of, well, they both get to play a 4th place team in Division 2, so either one's a result for those guys, I'd say. There's no chance of anyone below 1st or 2nd getting that top spot, really, at this point, is there?
No, not really. Especially as Matt is playing the goblins.
Yeah. It's not a great deal to say about this, really, at this point. I mean, the Orcs are almost certainly going to find themselves at the bottom of the table because they've got French Taunters next week. Yeah.
You could see Sean's Hawks making a last-minute break into the top
Possibly.
4. I guess the top 4 doesn't matter too much.
It doesn't matter at all in Division 1. I think I suspect that a lot of these teams will play very conservatively next week to try and prepare them, conserve their players for the playoffs. I expect to see a lot of vanity passes. I expect to see people not taking too many risks. But yeah, there's not really much else to write home about there. It'll be interesting. The Junglers have got such a high TV now. It'll be interesting to see how they handle playing against some like 1,070 TV team that gets 500k in inducements against them. No, I guess we'll see how that goes. Let's take a look at these teams. So, the Junglers. What have we got going on here? Alright. All but one skink leveled now.
Is that MNG on the Saurus?
It's certain. Well, it definitely is. Yeah.
It's a blessing in disguise, isn't it? Can't get hurt.
Yeah, I guess. It's the only disappointing thing about this team now is he's still got 2 Saurus that are completely unleveled, and I suspect that's because he's not throwing blocks with them because he's got like 4 others with block. But he needs to consider, I think, taking some risks with those guys and getting them that SPP that they need.
Well,
really.
you'd be betting on him leveling up at least one match. I mean, it's a shame that Agi won, so doing the quick pass isn't going to be too likely.
Yeah, Well, you've been betting on them leveling up for the whole season. I think they've literally been 5 out of 6 since game one. He needs to throw blocks, and he's playing against goblins, so just do it. Just walk up to some goblins and throw some blocks with them. Get him ready for next season.
While you would say that you'd have fun against the goblins, he doesn't have any tackle.
That's true, yeah.
So we know how that's going to end up, don't we?
But neither do the goblins. And he's got an Agi 4 skink and a Movement 9 skink. Yeah, this is looking, again, like a very nice team.
Yeah, because of all the development he's got in his skinks, he's kind of playing like Skaven.
Yeah, pretty much. Although Skaven haven't really got anyone who can base anybody.
Yeah, and then he's got the big ass dudes to back it up.
Yeah. This sounds like a dumb question. Can that Croxagore throw a teammate? No, he can't. That would be ridiculous if he could. He's on the cusp of having points added to his TV for the amount of cash he's got as well. So
okay.
he's going to need to think about how he approaches that, I think, sooner or later. Maybe get a stadium upgrade. Yeah, looking like a nice team. You would expect them to remain top. Morning Munches.
Well, he might be just banking it to spend in the playoffs at this point.
Possibly. Yeah, he could be scumming it in the playoffs. Wow, look at these Munches. 7 players. 7 players, 3 of them are ogres. Wow. This is barely even a team anymore. This is more like a band. What do you say about this? He's got 1 Noblar with block. All of his ogres have guard. One of them's got stand firm.
And he's stuck by not buying the Apo.
Yeah, well, at this point, there's no reason to anymore, is there?
Yeah, you can understand why he wants to sack this.
Yeah, this is a crap team. It's been fun, but this is just AIDS. All right, moving on. Bretonians. These are the guys. Look at that. That's horrible. Oh wow, he's 2 strength ups. 2 strength ups. Strength ups. Is that how you would say it as a plural? His blitzer strength has increased twice.
Oh my god.
A strength 5 blitzer. Yeah.
Although Dauntless is now useless.
Well, yeah, I guess unless he comes up against like a tree or something. Yeah. Still, who cares? He's got a strength 5 blitzer. It's ridiculous. He's got another one that's a blodger with tackle and strip ball. And he's got 3 tacklers on his team. And he's got a dirty player just for putting the boot in. I would be legit afraid to come up against this.
Yeah, I mean, this team is ridiculous. And I would find it hard to see them not getting really far in the playoffs.
Yeah. These guys you would expect to be doing very well. Because they've got everything as well.
He doesn't have too much block. Probably the only thing you could say, but he's got all this wrestle. Yeah,
I think that's it. He makes up for it with wrestle and with tackle as well. And just his sheer numbers, even though he's got 1 guy missing, he'll still have a dude on the bench for his next game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really nice looking team, that is. Nurgle, let's see if they've managed to recover a bit. Not really. Yeah. Oh, he's got a niggle on his Pestigore. That's nasty. Yeah, and that's his ball carrier.
Ball carrier, yeah.
Ideal. These guys are a spent force, unfortunately, aren't they? Just losing that beast pretty much sealed the fate. But it'll be interesting to see how they get on, because they've had a season of struggling against very developed teams, but they will start the playoffs against somebody who is significantly less developed than them.
Yeah, so, I mean, he's got quite a lot of development, and he's only at 1250. You're not getting massive inducements against them.
Yep. And that claw will be nice.
He's had terrible luck, right? So it's all going to turn around, I believe.
Hopefully, yeah. He's got the claw to deal with orcs as well and other high armor players. I wish him the best of luck. I hope he can survive another game. Let's take a look at these gobbos. Again, we're just going to say something like, what can you say, really? He's got break tackle on a troll. That's nice, so he can maneuver that guy out.
Hey, what you can say is they're fun to watch.
Yeah. I mean, you don't want development on these guys. You want inducements. So, in that regard, this is looking like a good goblin team.
I love that dodge on the troll. Well, that's not dodge. Is that break tackle? That's even better.
He's still got no pogoer. That's the only thing that's missing out of this, really.
His fanatic in every game I've watched has done nothing as well, other than hurt his own chances.
Well, you just stick him on the line to scare people, don't you? There's not really much else you're supposed to do with that. Still got no Apo. Although I suppose he doesn't care if any of these guys die. I'll be interested to see if he takes them into next season. Let's take a look at the Hawks. This is another very developed team. That movement 5 lineman needs to get fired.
Yeah, there's a few stat downs. I mean, you've got to be worried about that armor down on your strip ball blitzer, haven't you?
Yeah, that was unfortunate, to be honest. We saw that happen, and that was nasty. But the thing is, he's so developed now, and he's got strip ball. He's the only player on the team who's got strip ball, and it's such a key sort of strategy for teams like this, isn't it, to get into that cage and use it. Yeah, it's a bit of a tough one, that is. And I mean, at the end of the day, the thing is, though, the difference between Armour 7 and Armour 8 is much bigger than, say, the difference between Armour 9 and Armour 10, isn't it? Because on 2 dice, you're much more likely to roll an 8.
You just watch a Skaven game and you watch a human game, and you can see the difference.
Yeah.
In what happens to your players.
Definitely. So, yeah, it's...
but they are still looking like a good team. His TV is going to be a lot higher once he gets that lodging lineman back, though.
Look at that mighty blow block lineman. That's nice. Yeah, still a good team. They're missing a couple of players, but I suppose that's a blessing in disguise. Be interesting to see how they do against some lower TV teams. Let's have a look at these Chaos, who are really, really bloated now. 1,630 with 13 players. Wow. I kind of look at this and think this is what the Nurgle team might have looked like if they hadn't had such bad luck.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, why do Chaos need 13?
They don't. I don't know why he's got 13. I mean, that Beastman at the bottom there just wants firing. There's bringing nothing to the team at all. It's nice that he's got Claw on his Minotaur, though.
God. That Agi up dodging Beastman with block. Jeez. Yeah,
that's a nasty thing to
So that's how he's got 39 SPP, isn't it?
Yeah, and that Claw Mighty Blow Beastman there. So the Claw brings your opponent's armor down to 7. Mighty Blow effectively brings it down to 6. So every time he throws a punch with that guy, it's the equivalent of hitting a halfling, really, in terms of armor.
Yeah. Well, would you get rid of the Beastman or get rid of the Chaos Warrior? Because he can hit enough already, can't he?
Well, I'd keep the Chaos Warriors because they've got 4 strength, they've got 9 armor, and they can still carry the ball with 3 Agi. And you can only have 4 of them, so you might as well have 4 of them. He doesn't need any more Beastmen. He's already got plenty of other Beastmen which can do the one thing that Beastman can do, plus other stuff. So it's pointless having it there. I'd keep the Warriors. In fact, I'd even consider firing 2 Beastmen, to be honest, at this point.
Yeah, this is a scary team. I suppose he might want to keep the 1 extra just in case it comes up against a really bashy team.
Yeah, maybe. Well, that's looking horrible. Let's take a look at the Orcs. And still, it's every week I say this, but this is a nice team. There is nothing wrong with this team at all. Although he has now been kind of eclipsed in terms of development by a couple of the others. For most of the season, he had the most developed team, didn't he?
I mean, he's still really high TV.
Yeah.
And I suppose he's got an armor down on his Black Orc, but it's got guard, so you don't want to sack it.
If I were him, I would be tempted to sack the Troll. Bring your TV down by 110k, so that you're not giving other people inducements, and spend that money to get like a wizard or possibly like a bribe or something, so that you can really double down on pitch clearing your opponent.
Yeah, because I mean, Orcs they're bashy enough, aren't they, without the Troll? Although maybe he wants to keep it for the throwing Goblin Hail Mary outplay.
Yeah. I mean, I'd even consider firing the Troll and the Goblin. and having a loner in his next game. He's got enough money to replace swap the goblin for something else, get another thrower maybe. But yeah, because
you do look at this team.
Sorry,
you do look at this team and think, how are they bottom of the table? And I haven't seen too many of his games, so maybe it is just the luck. I don't know.
Yeah, possibly. Maybe his heart's just not in it anymore. But yeah, he's going to come up against other teams that are significantly lower TV than him, that are going to get loads of inducements against him, possibly even enough to get the Master Chef. So I think he needs to start thinking about that now. Either way, them was the teams. Let's have a look at the schedule for next week. So we've already touched on this slightly, but Garnza, Grog, French Taunters. What do you think, Sam?
Yeah, I mean, you absolutely can't look past French Taunters winning this game. They look like the scariest team that we have about at the moment.
Yep, definitely agree with that. Yeah, I mean, it's going to take a miracle, because for a start, they've both got more or less the same team value, so there will be no inducements for Greg, despite the fact that on paper it looks like he's got the less developed team. So unless he fires that troll or something similar, he's not going to get any inducements against these guys. So you would expect...
he's probably going to want to keep the troll because he's got a strength 5 blitzer.
Yeah, that's true, to be fair.
With.
Yeah, it's going to take a miracle for the Orcs to win that. So I agree. I think French Taunters will be taking that quite comfortably. This next one, on the other hand, is a bit more interesting. Morning Munchers versus Slimy Helmets. Well,
yeah,
you'd have to... Well, on paper, obviously, the Nurgle team looks vastly superior in every way, right?
Yeah, and it's kind of, how is he going to win? I mean, he's only got 7 people on his team. So many loners to deal with.
It doesn't really matter a great deal with when your loners are all snotlings or whatever they are on this, nobblers, does it? Because the only thing that you're ever going to want to reroll with these guys, other than maybe a pickup, is dodge. And because they've got dodge, they get that reroll for free anyway. So that shouldn't really be a big issue. The question is, what's his TV going to be? He's going to get 80k added to it, which means his TV will be at 940 versus Slimy Helmet's 1250. So he has actually got just enough to induce a Master Chef, which if I was in his position, I'd definitely do.
Yeah,
that will
you definitely
screw
need
up
that
the
for the... Yeah, and the bonehead rolls as well.
Yeah.
But even with that, I can't look past the helmets for this one.
Yeah, I agree. I think they'll probably win. Something will have to go monumentally wrong for them not to, really. But that has happened several times
already. That,
yeah. Jurassic Junglers, Vanilla Killer Kitsch. Well, this one's a tough one, because the Goblins have always got a chance to throw a spanner in the works, quite literally maybe. But you've got to assume the Junglers, right? Surely.
See, and this is where the inducements might come into play, because that is a massive difference. I don't know if he's getting any loners, but Vanilla Killer Kitsch are on 1020, and they're not getting any loners compared to the Lizardmen.
So
on 1480,
the Goblins will get their. The Goblins have got enough for 2 bribes and a Master Chef if they want. No, that's nonsense. No, that's accurate. Is it accurate? Yeah, that's accurate. Yeah,
they can get. They need to spend 20k or 40k. Master Chef's 300, right? And the bribes 100.
Yeah, no, bribes are 50k for Goblins.
Right.
So
Goblin
they
rolls.
can get 2 bribes, a hot pot, and even get a babe if they chuck an extra 10k or so in. So yeah, that's a big deal for them. They can keep the chainsaw on the field. They can steal all the opponent's rerolls.
I think, given that Matt's top of the table, he's got nothing to win, and he's just going to be protecting his skinks, I actually think this will be a draw.
I would agree with you if I thought Matt was smart enough to realise he's got more to lose than he has to win and actually protect his skinks. I don't think he'll do that. I think he'll try and win anyway, so I'm going to give it to the Junglers.
Fair enough. Even though we have warned him about that.
Well, we've warned him about lots of things, haven't we? Doesn't pay attention. So, Brexit Spines, Sean's Hawks. This one's a tough one because they're basically polar opposites, aren't they? The Hawks are going to want to play a dodgy passing game. The Spines are going to want to play stand there and punch. Maybe it'll come down to the TVs. Sean Talks will get almost 400k in inducements.
I still think the practicing Spines have got a good team that is going to be hard to pass around.
Yeah, for sure. And the Hawks are depleted at the moment. And I think Sean will probably play conservatively. He'll try and keep his guys away. He won't make any risky plays. He'll just try and look after his players. And for that reason, I think he might allow the Chaos to win, just so that he can be prepared for the playoffs. So I'm going to give it to Brexiting Spines.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to agree with you on that one.
All right, well, that was Division 1. Let's take a look at 2A. Okay. Gorgeous Gits, Reigning White Power. This was the last game of the week. We watched it last night. You was there, right?
Yeah, I was there. The Undead were getting pretty unlucky on some of the rolls. Although he definitely did get tilted and started making some questionable plays.
He just couldn't pick up the ball. That was his biggest issue. 28% picking up the ball. And given that he was picking it up with three Agi guys, that figure should be 60-something%, 66%-ish.
Yeah.
And that's the key stat there, really. He just kept failing his pickups. But the problem was that he, on a number of occasions, attempted to pick up the ball in situations where it probably would have been more sensible to attempt to surround it. And he allowed the Orcs to draw him into fights, which you can't really blame him for because the Undead are a bashy team, but in that situation, you got to think, haven't you, that you can't outbash the Orcs. Let's maybe switch up our style of play a little bit.
Yeah. And also, I mean, I know a lot's been said about these dodging Black Orcs, but in this situation, it worked out really well for him because he could do quite well on the defense against the Undead.
Yeah, and he did. Very well.
He certainly did.
And he got a 2-0 win out of it. So, let's have a look at the next game. Looney Toonies, Armored Armadillos. I watched this one. Did you see this?
Yeah, I did see this one.
The humans got diced.
It was very much one of those games where it just spirals out of control.
Yeah.
And I really thought the Armadillos were going to win this one quite comfortably.
Yeah.
And then I changed my mind after about 5 minutes.
Yeah, they were just very unlucky. 60% success rate on Go For It. They didn't get the casualties that they wanted. They couldn't catch the ball. They couldn't pass the ball. Yeah, just very, very bad luck. And then and the Chaos Dwarves just aren't a team that you can have bad luck against and survive. Really, are they?
No, especially not with Alan Shearer running around.
Yeah, exactly. Although the Looney Toonies only rolled 5 POWs for the entire game.
That's all they needed.
Yeah.
I seem to remember a lot of going for it that ended in KOs and injuries.
Yeah, definitely. Well, definitely for the Armadillos. But yeah, so that's another win for the Looney Toonies. Food Fighters, Bailey Regal. Well, do you want to take us through this one?
Yeah, so this was my first opportunity to add a choice whether I wanted Chainsaw or not. So, of course, I took it, which might not have been the best decision. I also blitzed my Ogre turn 2 because I was feeling too confident, and he boneheaded. The only reason Jack didn't get a touchdown is because he failed the pass, the 3+, he failed it with a reroll, and it just spiraled out of control. We got to see what happens when you remove everyone from the field, and your opponent still gets to take their turn. I had to wait for him to end it. And we also got to see some one-up fouls. Brilliant.
Yeah, it was quite the extravaganza, but that's pretty much taken the Food Fighters out of contention now. Yeah, another good win for you, and finally another 3-0.
He also had his own chainsaw, and he only got to use it once, unfortunately for him. And yeah, that's a crazy amount of SPP. I had next to no development on my team before this match, and now I've got a much nicer looking team.
Yeah. Well, let's take a look at the Rat and Goblin Pack's 3-0 win. Every season, well, both seasons that he's played now, this coach has made a comeback at the end of the season too late to actually really do anything, and this one's no different. He's winning all his games at the end. Yeah, Ogres. What did they do? Looks like the Rat and Goblin Pack passed a lot because the Ogres did have 0 of 5 on interceptions, and yeah, the Underworld attempted 9 passes. I'm guessing that's how they managed to score so much.
Yeah, look at that. Really stupid as well. 12 successes, only failed once.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's nice.
even if he was blitzing every turn, that's doing pretty well.
Succeeded all but one of his go for it's. Yeah, looks like it came through for him this game.
Yeah, and look at that. 10 SPP on Dean.
Oh, nice.
On his blitzer, that is.
Well, let's take a look at the teams, actually, because I'll be interested to see how that's affected him. Teams. Okay, well, the Armored Armadillos. These guys are looking pretty developed now, although he's got that Agi down on his lineman, which is well, does that really matter? Because he's just there to foul, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a dirty player, isn't he? Yeah.
Presumably, yeah. If he gets another double, give him sneaky git. You've got a nice dedicated fouler there. Got a strong arm on his thrower. That's always nice. So he gets to. He basically gets 2 re-rolls for all intents and purposes, sort of.
I'm just surprised that he got bashed so much this week, and he only got an armor down out of it.
Well, I mean, there's the chances of you actually suffering any major casualty is quite slim. I think it's like there's only a 1/3 chance, if not less, that you'll actually get a major casualty when someone takes your player out. Because you roll a D6 and a D8, and the D6 is the first digit and the 8 is the second digit. And I think it's like, oh god, this is going to make me sound like such a noob. It's somewhere around about the 40s where it starts actually becoming a proper casualty. So
yeah.
There's not a huge chance that it'll really hurt. But still, yeah, you're right. He's gotten off quite lucky there. So he's got his strength up blitzer, he's got his move up catcher. Those are like 2 core stats that you would love to have on any human team.
Oh yeah.
You would, and he's weathered the storm of the Looney Tunes, so you would expect him to be in with a fighting chance here, right, in the playoffs.
Yeah, he's a good coach as well, and he's got a really nice looking team.
Yep.
So I definitely back him to do well.
Unlike these guys,
as well.
Let's have a look at these other humans. So, you're going to fire this AV down kicker, or are you going to keep him around?
I'm going to keep him around just because I don't have a lot of cash. And he is my kicker, so I'm just going to try and keep him around the back, I guess. It might come to bite me in the ass, but I'll keep him in for now, definitely.
Okay. Well, you've got block on all but one of your linemen, which is quite nice. You've got accurate on your passer, on your thrower, so that means you can start playing the passing game now, can't you?
Yeah, because I didn't take the catcher until last week, and I definitely regret not taking him earlier.
Yeah, he's good. He's
especially,
key.
Especially seeing what happened to the other human catcher as well.
Yeah.
I'd like that, please.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you can get a stat up and sprint on him, you can score a touchdown straight from the kickoff. So it's definitely it's worth having. You've got your blodger blitzer. I think the only thing really that you're a bit short on here is more guard.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And also the fact that you didn't name any of your players.
Yeah, well, I got to name one of remembering. But that's the problem when I got lots of level up on my linemen, not so much on my blitzers, unfortunately, because they kept dying.
Yeah, I suppose if you're putting them in front of danger, that's going to happen, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm always surprised at how little SPP people seem to get on their ogres. They never seem to score that cash.
No, he's got 2 casualties in 6 games. It's not good, is it?
Nope. Just one more though. Hopefully you can get one this week. Get you set up for the playoffs. Let's take a look at the Rat and Goblin pack, who are now starting to look like a team with some development. We've got a movement. We've got two movement 8 Skaven. Look at that, Skaven lineman and thrower. Do you know what? Even though he's not had a great season, I would be half tempted to take these guys into the next one. Now with that,
yeah, definitely. I mean, he had a really really rough start, but this team is looking pretty nice now.
yep, for sure. He's got a bit of guard. He's not got any level ups on his goblins, which in a sense is kind of a good thing because you don't want that kind of bloat, do you? So he's getting the SPP where he wants it, which is on his Skaven. It'd be nice if we could get 2 more on that troll, get a level up, maybe get another guard or a stand firm there. But yeah, this is looking like a pretty decent team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's move on. Ain't ogre till it's ogre. The most valuable ogre team in the entire competition. Weirdly. Wow, okay, yeah. So I forgot about this actually. He's got an Agi 3 ogre.
Yep.
He's got one
reliable ball carrier.
Yeah. I mean, as far as ogre teams go, it's a shame that he's only got 3 ogres. If he had like a couple more ogres, this would be a genuine sort of concern for his opponents, really.
Yeah, well, I mean, the reason he lost that 4th ogre, he lost that in the first week.
He lost an ogre in both week 1 and 2.
Did he? Next week as well. I got a turn 16 touchdown, and he got hit by a rock and died. So that's why he's bought the Apo.
Yeah. But this looks alright. I'd be tempted to keep these. I don't think he will be, because I don't think he's had a great time, but I'd consider it.
Yeah, you might be considering sacking off the movement 4 Noblar.
Well, let's take a look at these Wood Elves. Well, look at that. Fantastic. So, for his next game, he will be missing a War Dancer, and he'll have 2 loners. So yeah, I mean it's weird because he's got 2 guard linemen here, so he's rolled doubles on those guys, which is, I believe I said this last week, but that's not really what you want. Like because now you're tempted to put them in front of enemies, and you don't want to do that with these guys. You want to stand off as much as possible.
Yeah,
and I think that's probably the fact that he plays these guys like a nutter anyway, but it's just. They're not built for wood elfing, are they really?
There's always, if you get the doubles, you just want to buy something that you need doubles for. And I think that might be the situation. I can see where you might want to get one guard, and then you've got your guard guy and 2 linemen on the line of scrimmage. But after that...
Thing is, given that he... I'd be tempted to give one of them Hail Mary pass, though, or something like that.
Yeah, or strong arm.
Yeah. Or, I mean, literally anything from the passing would probably be nice.
Anything.
Possibly even give them something like Frenzy or something.
On the lineman?
Yeah, get some crowd surf on the go.
Yeah. I'd be very worried about this armor down on the catcher as well.
Yeah, that's...
Like we were saying... 7 to 8 is a big difference. 7 to 6 is also a big difference.
Yeah, I'd almost be tempted to fire him for this last game, so that you get another lone lineman and ride the wave of inducements and get some decent star players in. Possibly even induce a tree and just have a laugh, because he's got 2 guards. Yeah. Well, let's have a look at these Chaos Dwarves. Okay. Probably the other most developed team in the league here. That Alan Shearer is just absolutely horrible. Fortunately for Division 1 coaches, he's probably not going to get another level before the playoffs.
Yeah, no. Well, you'd imagine not. Let's see.
You'd hope not. He's got is that wrestle there on his Hobgoblin? Kick and wrestle.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, what can you say about this team, really? He's building it like a Chaos Dwarf team. He's got 2 guards. Yeah. You would expect him to have a bit more guard by now, I think.
Yeah, he hasn't gotten the luck of spreading out his levels too much.
You'd
want more on these blockers, wouldn't you?
Yeah, after a whole other season, though, this will be horrible. He'll probably have guard on all of those blockers. He might even have it on one or two hobgoblins as well, and they'll be almost impossible to play against.
Yeah. Although he has got that problem, so he hasn't gotten the chance to spread out his development too much. So he also doesn't want to leave Alan Shearer anywhere he can get hit. So it's interesting watching him calculate the plays.
Well, be interesting to see what he can pull off. Let's have a look at these
And
undead.
there is a Mars bar on him as well.
That's true. Yeah, don't forget Alan Shearer has got a Mars bar. Well, these guys are still looking quite nasty. He had an unlucky game last time around, but that hasn't. I mean, actually, I think he might technically be the most developed team in the league here.
In this league, yeah.
Yeah. He's got 2 strength 4 ghouls. Although one of them now has a niggle. I wonder if it might even be worth considering firing that other one just to bring the TV down a bit, because he's got another strength 4 ghoul, and you can only blitz with 1 ghoul per turn anyway. I don't know. It's a bit of a tough one, that, isn't it?
Well, so the other one is a zombie. He's got his ghoul and a zombie.
Oh, sorry, yeah, I'm being absolutely special here.
So I guess he's putting the zombie on the line of scrimmage then.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm saying this, because I watched him play last night with his strength 4 zombie. Yeah. Still, it is a very nice team.
It is a nice team. I think he got unlucky last game.
With the pickups.
That'll carry on.
Yeah, it won't, because he's given one of them sure hands in response to it. So he's got a sure hands blodger ghoul that can now carry the ball. So that's going to be very difficult to knock down.
Yeah, that's close.
Yeah. Yeah, this is looking like a very nice team. I'd expect him to be able to sneak back into the top 4 with these guys. Let's take a look at the Gorgeous Gits. Currently the only team in the league who are guaranteed a playoff spot. That Agi4 Blitzer is massive.
Yeah, he's still got these blodging Black Orcs. It doesn't look like he's going to have time to level up.
Well, neither of them are blodgers. They're both just dodgers.
Oh, sorry, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's probably his weakest point, because yeah, you would have hoped. Well, he would have hoped that he could have got another level on both of them by now and given them and made them into blodgers. And if he had done, they would have been absolutely horrible to be based by. At the moment, they're still fair game.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the reason he's done so well is because of the other teams that he's been up against. I think he played Graham pretty early, right?
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
because you look at their results, 1 loss, just me, so I'm great. And then you look at the team, and it doesn't seem to quite match up, does it?
Well, the thing is, Orcs always do well at TV 1000 and around that pit area because they are difficult to remove, and Blood Bowl's often a numbers game. So if you can't take your opponent off the field and he can take you off the field, you're in trouble, aren't you, really?
Yeah. Well, he's also got rid of his troll. I don't know what happened. I think he got move or strength down or something.
Yeah,
right?
he did. He got a movement down. But that's probably done him a favour because that's brought his TV down quite a bit, and he doesn't need it.
Yeah.
I never get why Orc teams take that troll unless you really, really want that one turner sort of option. Just seems like a waste of TV to me for something that's unreliable. Either way,
yeah,
that is
looking good going into playoffs.
Yeah, we forgot to look at the league table, so let's take a look at Division 2A. Now, with the context of that, so Gorgeous Gits, top of the table, guaranteed a playoff spot. Everyone else between 2nd and 5th will be duking it out for those remaining 3. Reigning White Power, currently just outside the playoff spot. You would expect that to be quite hotly contested between you and them, right? How do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, it's a strange one because all I need to do is draw. If I lose against him and the Armored Armadillos win, then I'm out. So I'm going to be playing quite defensively.
Yeah.
But I also don't really know how to do that. So.
Well, you've got to. Well, I forget what it's called. Is it called like a pillar defense or something?
Yeah, when you do the 2 in a column, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, column defense. That's the one. Yeah, I mean, he's going to struggle to penetrate that really, and he'll probably want to play a bashing game, I should imagine. But I don't think there's any reason why he can't beat you. He's got a good team.
Yeah, no, totally. It's absolutely not in the bag at all. He's
Should
got
be
a nicely
interesting.
developed team.
With regards to Looney Toonies, they're up against the Rat and Goblin pack. You would expect them to take that, right? Hang on a minute. Why are we discussing? Tell you what, we've had a look at the league table. Let's go back to fixtures.
Right.
Right. So, we'll go top to bottom. Gorgeous Gits, Armored Armadillos. So both of those guys are currently in the playoff spot. Gorgeous Gits don't need to win. Armadillos don't need to win, but they kind of want to.
Yeah, it's in their hands.
Yeah.
They need to win to guarantee it.
Now, if you and Reigning White Power both draw, then the Armored Armadillos will go up on touchdown difference. So they could hypothetically lose and still go up.
Yep.
Who do you think will win?
I think so. Tom sacked the troll. He's got less bash, and he's got nothing in it. He's going to be one to protect all his dudes. So I think the Armored Armadillos will take this one, especially as they don't need a win, but they would very much like a win.
Yeah, I agree. I also think that they've got some serious development on the team, and that he's more than capable of playing the passing game. So I think they'll probably win too. Yeah. Reigning White Power, Bailey Regal. Objectively speaking, what do you think?
I think it's going to be a tough match. And I don't have too much in the way of... So what I need to do is I need to be dodging and passing, and my team's not really set up for that. Although I do have the accurate and the catcher now. I think that it will be a draw, especially as I will be playing to not lose. But that's a bit of an insider tip, isn't it?
Well, I think that because you're going to be sitting back and because he needs to win, I think that he will throw everything at you and overcome, and I think he'll probably win. But he needs to not tilt halfway through the second half, if that's the case. Because he's got a squad that can keep pressing regardless of how bad things are getting, and he needs to just get his head in the game. But if he can do that, I think he'll win, and I think he can realistically probably get into the playoffs.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a tough one.
Yep. Looney Toonies, Rat and Goblin pack. What are you thinking?
So Graham doesn't need a win, does he? And also, the Rat and Goblin pack have been doing quite well at the moment. I don't really see that Graham would be the kind of person who would play to secure his players. I don't really know where all this is going, but my first instinct is the Rat and Goblin pack might take it because it's just a nothing game, isn't it? And they've been doing well.
I don't know. I think Graham's probably got too much quality on his team for the Rat and Goblin pack, and the only thing that those guys really have over him is movement, but Graham's smart enough to deal with those Skaven properly, and if he can do that, then the Underworld just don't have anything that they can do really at that point other than just spiral into death, and I think Graham will succeed. So I'm going with a win for the Looney Toonies.
Yeah, fair enough.
And finally, Food Fighters ain't ogre till it's ogre. Well, this one's I really don't know what to say about this one. Neither of them have got anything to play for other than fun and honour.
They both play like mentalists.
Yeah. I mean, there's only 3 ogres on that ogre team. Even with the way Jack plays Wood Elves, you would expect them to win. Even with only 1 War Dancer, you would expect them to win, right? Surely.
You would expect them to win, but I can see the ogres doing well because will they get inducements in this match? I suppose they're both roughly even, aren't they?
So the ogres are 1,050. The Food Fighters are 1,010.
Oh, two. He's
Yeah.
getting two linemen.
So it'll be 1,150. So the ogres will have. Have they got a full complement? No, they'll be getting one. Yeah, no, they have. So they'll get 100k. So they'll probably just get a babe, I imagine.
Yeah, or maybe a bribe.
Possibly. I still think the Wood Elves will take it.
Yeah, yeah. I want to say the ogres will win because they are just fun to watch. But yeah, it's hard to sit and look past them, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, I'm also going for Wood Elf win.
Okay, let's take a look at our last league, 2B. So, Lunatics down and out. So that one was mine. Honestly, I got lucky, really. I started off being unable to pass the ball and pick up the ball and all the usual stuff that I can't do. But I managed to score on turn 8 with a desperate comeback in a half where it looked like I might concede. And then I managed to score on turn 16, having just surrounded the ball for 7 turns and finally just dodged in, dodged out, passed, scored a touchdown. Really, it could have gone either way. Yeah, it was actually kind of not a massively entertaining game of Blood Bowl, really, for anyone, I don't think. It was just frustrating, middle of the field punching.
Yeah, it looks like neither team could really pick up the ball.
No, he couldn't. He had trouble. Mind you, I had the exact same pickup ratio.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it doesn't look like much happened, as you said.
No,
not a
really.
lot of development for either team, really.
I rolled a lot of go for it's. That was probably what got me the win there. 92% go for it success rate.
Yeah, that's gross.
I got lucky, and my dodging worked pretty well. Yeah, 2-0 win for me. Teddy versus Mordor's Rejects. Not really surprised that the Kislev didn't win this. It was never going to be an easy game for him, was it?
No, and especially with the way that he plays.
Yep.
I mean, look at that. That's 20 leaps.
Yep, and half of them more or less failed. He wasn't lucky on the boneheads. Yeah, just couldn't play his game as usual, unfortunately. Whereas the Rejects, you can see here, hardly rolled any dice at all.
Yeah, barely.
Yeah, but they rolled loads of block dice. Yeah, wow, 32 skulls for the... oh, no, that's for both teams. Duh. Yeah, I was going to say. That would have seemed like a lot of blocking dice. Yeah.
I mean, 23 skulls for the Beastmen.
Yeah. And even then, they still won 1-0. Well, let's take a look at our next game. Wolves and the Bones Orchestra. This was the top of the table clash. We was expecting it to be a close fought match. Judging by the SPP and the score, it looks like it was.
Oof. Yeah, wow.
But it seems to me that Wolves and the Bones were just able to pick up and run with the ball. Look at that. 100% success rate on pickup, 100% success rate on pass, 100% success rate on catch. That's not really how you're supposed to play Necros, but it worked, so what do I know?
He's got a unique Necro team, hasn't he, though?
Yeah, it is quite a fruity setup.
It's going to be one of you playing it a bit different. Fruity.
Yeah, and the Orcs, on the other hand, looks like they just didn't have quite as much luck.
They've got nine powers as well.
Yeah. Just weren't allowed to Orc by the looks of things. Still, they got a decent amount of SPP out of it, so it wasn't a complete waste of time for him. Vermin Vengers and Rusty Axe Wounds. This win has catapulted him into the top 4. 3-1 to the Skaven. And yeah, quite the SPP fest for him there.
Yeah, I did catch this one, and it was just Skaven doing Skaven things, like taking 1-die blocks and then running to the other side of the field.
Yeah, looks like Axe Wounds were quite unlucky with their blocking dice as well. 22 skulls, that was the highest rolled die. When you roll more...
Look at the...
Sorry, go on.
Look at the armor rolls for the Vengers. 44% success. So it wasn't made easy for him.
No. Well, still, great result for those guys. Let's take a look how it's affected the table. So, Vermin Vengers are now second, coming up from, what, like 7th a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, wow. He had a terrible start, didn't he?
Yep. But he's doing alright now. He's thrown off the shackles of last season's constant 1-1 draws, and he's now 3-2-1 on wins, draws and losses. at this point in time, anybody down to 6th can still sneak into the playoffs. It's going to be an interesting finish. If Mordor's Rejects can beat the Orcs and I lose to Wolves in Their Bones, which you would expect me to, then Mordor's Rejects can actually make it into the playoffs. And here I was last week telling him it definitely wasn't going to happen. Didn't expect this run of results to occur at all. No one's safe really except Wolves in the Bones here. Yeah.
Well, and Rusty Axe Wounds and Teddy are safe from not being promoted.
Safe from success. I don't think that counts, but yeah, fair enough. Yeah, let's have a look at teams. Wolves in the Bones. Yeah, these guys are looking nasty. What's changed? He's got a zombie now with Sneaky Git. So he's going to be trying for those fouls, I should imagine, which against me with all armor 7 should be quite effective, I would imagine. He's got one dodger. He's got one tackler. So that's gonna screw up my all dodge team.
Yeah. 3 guard as well.
3 guard is nasty, yeah. Although I've got a fair bit of guard as well, so yeah, looking nice. It's the werewolves that really are the linchpin of this whole operation, though, isn't it?
Yeah, totally.
Blodger werewolf is just very difficult to take down. You'd expect these guys to probably stay top, really. Let's take a look at the Kislev. Still only 10 players. He's got a movement up catcher. His lineman has now got sure hands, so he can pick up the ball and pass it all the way down the field if he wants to. Yeah, this is pretty nice. I mean, as far as 3 levels overall go, it's interesting what he's gone for here. This little
movement up, Hail Mary pass, top tier combo.
Yeah, well, good luck with that, Sam. The down and outs. So, what have we got going on here? He's got sure hands on a ghoul now, probably after the experience of last game. He's got 3 blodgers and he's got a mummy with guard. I mean, that's about the most standard undead development you can get in it, really.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the big difference between this undead team and the other one we saw in 2A.
Yeah, this one's got quite a bit less development. He's gone for all zombies as well, which is, a lot of people do that, but I always think there's something to be said for having some movement 5 skeletons. I'll often get a skeleton and give him Sneaky Git or Dirty Player or both if possible, so that you've got a guy that can run 5 squares and throw a foul. But yeah, this is a pretty decent team. There's no reason why I can't get into the playoffs with these guys. Let's take a look at Mordor's Rejects. So, yeah, these are starting to look formidable now after a couple of semi-decent results.
Yep, Agi up Beastman. He's got a ball carrier.
Yep, he's got block on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys now. I would be tempted to fire his Beastman with block, though, because he's adding 80k to the team value and he only has 7 armor. So he's just going to get punched immediately and taken out.
Yeah.
I would be tempted to get rid of him and get some inducements. But that's just
Especially
me.
Especially he's got a 12-man roster and, he's got armor 9 or 8 on everyone.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, now that he's got that Agi 4 Beastman, he's not going to have to worry so much about having to use re-rolls for blocks and stuff, because he's not going to have to waste them trying to pick up the ball. But yeah, this is looking like a nice team. Let's take a look at Orchestra. So, Goblin is now strength 1, and he's missing him for his next game. Question is, does that matter? He's got more guard than vastly more guard than the other Orc team. And
yeah, well, he doesn't have much development on his Black Orcs, unfortunately.
Thing is, I'd rather get the development on the Blitzers. Well, I mean, yeah, it's nice to get development on the Blackhawks, but you can just stand them there and they've got 4 strength, so they cause problems. The
Yeah.
fact that you can now put a blitzer into a cage or something, or next to a big guy, and then walk in with a Blackhawk and get a blitz on them is quite big. And the fact that he's got multiple blitzers that can do that is nice. I think this is looking like a nasty team to come up against still. Just a shame that his thrower got the strength up. It's like the last one you want it on, isn't it, really?
Yeah, but again, it's what I was saying earlier. When you roll the doubles, you want to use it. It's hard to convince yourself not to.
Yeah, I would have been tempted possibly to give him a strong arm instead if he got a double there.
Oh, yeah, that would have been nice. Although,
Or even dodge.
Who are you throwing it to on an AWP team?
Well, the thing is, as long as you can get it there, any of your blitzers can catch it on a 3-up. So if you've got pass and strong arm, you basically got sort of 3 chances to get it there.
Yeah.
Or possibly even give him accurate or something like that. But yeah, he's got strength. He's got, at least now he's going to be difficult to take down, I suppose, because he's got 4 strength when he's carrying the ball.
What do you think he's going to do with this Goblin?
I'd keep him. You're not going to be throwing blocks with him anyway, are you? He's just there to hand the ball off to and have him thrown forward.
But he's got no troll.
Oh, that's a good point, yeah. Well, I don't suppose it matters for now, does it?
He can't sack himself, can he?
Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, I think I probably would fire him, to be fair. That's 70k for a 1 strength there. If you're not going to be throwing him, if you don't intend to get a troll and throw him, then he's adding nothing to the team, really.
Yeah, I'd also do that.
Unless you're just going to use him as a fouler or something, but still, that's not worth 70k, is it? At all.
No. I think probably what he's doing is, because he's giving him movement up, he's running him in the back lines as an outplay. And if that is what he's doing, the fact that he's got strength 1 makes him so vulnerable.
It's basically Snotling. He's a Noblar, but Noblars cost 20k.
Speedy Noblar.
Yeah, speedy Nob. Well, let's take a look at Rusty Axe Wounds. Well, his TV's come down a bit now because he's lost a player and he's got another one on MNG. When he did have a 14-man roster, that was just way too many players for a Norse team. And he's finally started getting that development train running now. So he's got a Blodger runner, he's got a block on his Ulfwerner, and his linemen have now got a combination of fend and kick. So he's starting to look like a Norse team, but it's too late in it, really, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think again this is you're playing it for next season now. I mean, I don't know if he's considering changing, but it is a nice looking team now. Just as you say, it's too late.
Yeah, just unfortunate, really. Bad luck. It'll be interesting to see what he does next season. I probably would start fresh, to be fair, because I don't think these guys are... You need to get some real development under the belt with Norse to start surviving against other high TV teams, and I don't think he's got enough here. But, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he does. Vermin Vengers. Oh, my God. Movement 10 gutter runner. So, yeah, he can now he can now run all the way to the opponent's touchline with that.
On 2 going for it, right?
Yep. If he gets Sure Feet as his next level up, it's pretty much guaranteed that he can run all the way, as long as he doesn't have to make too many weird dodges. That is exactly what you want on a gut runner right there. Yeah, that looks like an absolutely nightmarish Skaven team to have to come up against.
Yeah, I would have not enjoyed playing against these guys.
Yeah, he's got his kicker. He's got wrestle on a lineman. Strip ball on a gut runner. Yeah, that's nice. That's a nice Skaven team there. If he can make it into the playoffs, there's no reason why he can't do quite well, because there's not really anything like that in Division 1, is there? There's no. None of them are built to play against this.
And that strip ball wrestle as well. That's gonna be so annoying to play against.
Well, lovely. Finally, my Amazons. So I now have 7 Blodgers on my team. And yeah, all I got last game was 2 line women made it into a blodger. But the thing is, I'm kind of glad I've not rolled any like crazy fruity level ups or anything because it's keeping my TV low.
Yeah, yeah, the strength up blitzer, that's really nice.
Yeah. Yeah, to be honest, I'm quite pleased with these guys. If I actually make it into the playoffs, I might even keep them into next season. But
Yeah,
that's a
and there's
big if.
also there's not a lot of teams with tackle,
Yeah,
which is definitely going to come in your favor. It's just about whether you get that luck on not getting removals with Amazons, I guess.
yeah, I think I've been pretty lucky so far. I've not really had any major setbacks.
Yeah.
Well,
Is this team getting sacked at the end of the season?
I don't know. It depends how well I do. If I can
Hmm.
make it into the playoffs, I might keep him. But it's probably a yes to that. Speaking of which, Lunatics versus Wolves and the Bones. What do you think, Sam? Can I do it?
Yeah, I find it hard to look past Wolves and their bones for this one, I'm afraid. Even with the development you've got on your team. They could just kind of do everything, really. They can bash, they can run.
Well, I think I can do it, and here's why. He's only got 1 tackler, so it doesn't matter. His 2 guys with claw that have come in so handy for him all season are going to be irrelevant because all my guys are 7 armor. His flesh golems are so slow that I'm just going to ignore them. Really, what he has on this team is 2 werewolves and 2 whites. Or at least that's the way I see it. And I'm just going to focus all my attention on those werewolves. If I can remove them, he's got nothing.
Yeah, that is going to be the way you would win this game.
So while I agree that I would say that it's more likely that Wolves and the Bones will win, I'm still going to back me because I think I can.
Because it's you.
Exactly.
I would find it hard to believe you would back it if someone else was coaching the Lunatics.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, I've got to back me. I've always got to bat for the home team. So Vermin Vengers and Teddy, really you can't look past the Skaven for this, can you?
Yeah.
They've
Totally
got more
agree.
than 2 players with skill ups, so
That 10 movement got a runner as well. Disgusting.
yeah, what are you going to do against that? Really, there's nothing you can do.
Leap.
Well,
Leap
that's not
and
worked
fall
for him
over.
very well so far, has it? So yeah, I'm guessing we're both in agreement on that one.
Yeah, got to back the Vermin for this one.
All right, Rusty Axe Wounds down and outs. Well, Rusty Axe Wounds have had a terrible season and have really not come out swinging at all yet. You would expect the Undead to take this, but really, I think on paper there's not a great deal of difference between the two, is there now?
No, and I suppose the down and outs would like a win to guarantee they're not gonna. Although, no, they're guaranteed top 4, aren't they? Still,
No.
are they not?
No. The only person who's guaranteed top 4 is Wolves and their Bones.
I'm just looking because Mordor's rejects are playing Orchestra. So if you beat Wolves and their Bones, and the Chaos beat Orchestra, and the down and outs lose. No, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, if the down and outs.
Yeah, nothing to play for.
Yeah. Rusty Axe Wounds got nothing to play for. Down and outs, if they lose, they could quite easily not find themselves in the playoffs.
Yeah. Considering he's playing undead against squishy, but they do have block. They're squishy dudes. I'd back the down and outs to win this one.
Yeah, I agree with that assessment. Orchestra Mordor's Rejects. Now, this is an interesting one. Rejects are really starting to come into their own now, and they've got so much to play for here. Whereas Orchestra have just come off the back of a loss, and they are going to struggle to play their game against a team that is also very bashy.
Yeah, he's got a couple of strength 4 blockers on those Chaos Warriors. That's nasty. Horns. A lot of horns.
Yep. I think that Mordor's Rejects will actually win this.
I think you might be right. but I'm gonna go for a draw.
Yeah. Do you know what? Actually,
I think
I was just thinking I will also go for a draw
no,
because I think they'll
you can't
probably
do
just.
that.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I think they'll probably just bash each other and it'll end up with a 0-0 draw or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, when you've got to win, then you are going to be doing risky plays, aren't you?
Yeah, I think if the Orcs are sensible and just sit back and defend, it'll come good for them. If they try and do like silly plays and stuff, maybe not so much. But yeah, I think probably a no-score draw.
Oh, I don't see it being no score. I think there were a 1-1. Don't see it getting to 2-2. I reckon a 1-1 in this one.
Well, either way, a draw. Well, that brings us to the end. Thank you very much for tuning in. Good luck with your last games of the season. I hope you make it into the playoffs. And Sam, thanks for joining me.
Yeah, no problem.